All right, everybody, welcome back to another Manufacturing Alliance podcast. This is Chat and Chow. It's our opportunity to have lunch with you. We can't physically be there because that's against the rules in most places, but we can still talk and engage and share stories and have fun. So that's what Chat and Chow is all about, and staying positive and back to another Manufacturing Alliance. Forgetting to mute your keyboard. So I'm Tony Demakis from Alliance Specialties and Laser Sales, where we handle all things mold repair and maintenance and finishing. So anything from polishing to laser welding, laser engraving, hot runner manifold cleaning, and laser welding and engraving. We can handle it and help you with it. But this is not about me. This is about having lunch with everybody. And today I have my friend, industry favorite, right? Big Scotty from DME is here. So this should be fun. Scotty, you're muted. This is the first time people haven't heard you talk.
I'm not sure I like anybody having this much control over my speech. I feel like I should be riding in the streets.
Please don't do that. Don't do that.
I can't go that long. I can't go that long without eating. I admire some of these people. You kidding me? I could never spend 12 hours outside without food.
No, why would you?
I know. What the heck?
There's no reason for that. So how the hell are you, my friend? I haven't seen you in I can't even think the last time we were together. Was it a Chicago trade show?
It probably was. And I know I just seen Dougie in March.
Yeah, you guys went shooting, right?
Yeah, we went hunting out to Tom Nielsen's place out in South Dakota. And if you're lucky enough and Dougie ever likes you enough, maybe he'll invite you out there.
I think it's his way to get away from me, to be honest.
You think so?
Kind of, yeah.
He might have mentioned that a couple of times. I'm not sure.
At one point, I think I told him I want to learn how to shoot. And he was like, you don't need to.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he knows because he goes with me. I can't shoot. I took 71 shots one day at a bird, never hit it.
Oh, so it wasn't his way of telling me I don't need to go. He was just saying I don't need to learn.
Yeah, well, and that's one of the greatest things about this trip. Tim Bart started putting these things together about 10 years ago.
Yep.
And the greatest part is it's like everything else we kind of do. There's a little bit of business accomplished, but in general, it's just kind of about being together and about sharing.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter if it's the first time you picked up a gun. It doesn't matter if it's the first time you ever went. It's just about being together,
Yep.
Or a 4-day trip. You have a couple cocktails together. You tell some stories, some lies, and you just kind of hang out. Maybe once in a while you leave a dog somewhere and forget him, like we did the Bartsy's dog. But the damn dog was smart. We came back half hour later. It was sitting right there waiting for us. Like, guys, what the hell did you
do? Are you sure the dog didn't just lead you guys back to camp? Because I mean, I've been with y'all. That's.
The funny thing about that's a really smart dog, his dog Stella. She may have just said, "The hell with you guys."
Yeah, I've had enough.
Yeah, she's like, all you fat bastards can't keep up with me in the middle of the field anyway. So I'm gonna find some new guys to hunt with who can actually move through this stuff.
I'm gonna let you guys get a head start.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of waiting on your ass.
He's probably gonna wait for us to come back tomorrow. I don't know.
That's right. So I mean, you're a guy that's out on the move all the time. How are you handling this?
Well, this has been I've been doing this probably 25 years or so more. This has been the craziest period of my life.
Yeah.
And I've been successfully married for 21 years.
All going downhill now, isn't it?
Going into this situation, I wasn't sure how it was going to work. And I'm not sure my wife was either. I've never been home this much.
No.
We had to fire 2 pool boys and a gardener. I'd never been home this much. It was crazy.
She's saying, I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, I know. What the hell? But everything's
supposed
been
to be
good.
gone.
The one good thing, though, I went to Walmart when this whole thing started. I bought a $148 mountain bike.
Yeah.
And they put this trail in behind my house. We used to have hundreds of acres behind my house. Now the spread of urban spread and all this crap. So they put in this bike trail that we all tried to fight like hell for not to get. And I said, you know what? I was having trouble sleeping at night because I'm all wound up, right?
Yeah.
I don't need anything to get wound up. I don't need, a cup of coffee, 2 a.m. I'm good to go all day. And I couldn't sleep at night because I'm just like, you go from your office here to your house, and then you go into your house, you eat dinner and you hang out, watch a little TV. And you're dying to do something. So I started riding my bike at lunch.
Yep.
And I go out for 35 minutes. And I'll tell you what, it's been amazing.
So nice, isn't
22 pounds.
Good for you.
I can't believe it. I absolutely can't believe it. I'm back into the same size Speedo I had in high school.
Well, Not
It's amazing.
everything, not everything grows and shrinks.
It's amazing. Well, different places. But it's been amazing just getting out of the house. Everybody's talking about this COVID-15 and 20. And I said, shit, the way I overachieve, I'll probably be like COVID-80. So I better start trimming down a little bit.
Good for you, man.
And, yeah, it's been pretty cool.
That's awesome. Tony from Mastip is on YouTube saying hi. Brenda from Hasco's on here. Paul Britton's on. Camille Sackett is on. Hillary's on.
She's tough. She abuses me all the time, Camille.
She didn't know that we knew each other. So when I was talking to Camille when she was on, she was like, "Do you know Scott? You should have Scott on. That would be fun." And I was like, "No."
Very rough. She's very rough and tumble. It's that New York side of her. The city.
Yeah.
She can get kind of tough with you.
I don't know. I can't picture it.
She's got a hell of a right cross. That's how she gets sales.
That is.
I've seen her hog tie some guys down for a PO.
She just knocks them out.
Absolutely.
Knocks them out and takes their hand and just.
She sneaks up on them. She's, they think, she's so smart. She knows the business. She's incredible, engineering mind.
Yeah.
And she hog ties them. It's incredible. I witnessed it firsthand.
Did you teach her those tactics?
I can't get up anymore. When I'm down, I can't get up. So I can't even wrestle with anybody anymore. I had to quit yoga. My dog was always down.
Oh man, I miss you.
Shit. We need a real trade show, I think.
We just need a real reason to get together. What's the one state that's open? Can we all just go to the one state that's like?
I told you, New York might be open 2021.
Yeah, I'm saying we're not going to New York, but we
gotta go somewhere.
There's got to be
fun.
Yeah, can we go on like a golf trip somewhere like down south? There's got to be stuff open down south.
I would think anywhere. What we should do? Larry Patton and I talked about this actually in South Dakota this year. And we said if they cancel a Marimold totally,
yeah,
we should just pick a city that we know, somewhere in the central area of the States.
Yep.
And we should just have our own little meet and greet session.
Let's do it.
Get a bunch of people together, rent a conference hall, and have like a banquet room one night, and just all get together. Get together and share like we always do. The trade shows are great all day.
Yep. But
really, it's networking and it's getting to know people at night, and you really get a feel for what these guys need for their businesses and what you can provide. And a lot of times you can't provide it, but you know somebody that can.
Yep.
Right. And it's all about what we pass on.
Yep.
And everything we do, it's about, how do we make the other people succeed?
That's it.
Right. And it's odd sometimes when you tell somebody, hey, I had to send somebody to a competitor. But you know what? At the end of the day, man, it's all about the customers, right? It's all about our friends. It's all about just somebody being successful. And can you be part of that?
Yeah. And if you can't be the one that brings the success, aren't you better off passing them on to somebody that can and gaining their trust long term?
I'll tell you, it'll pay off in spades.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we should do it. I'm on board. Maybe, the thing is, how do we make it?
Camille's got the Exceed credit card. She can sponsor the whole thing.
Done. Camille, what do you think? Scott Peter says, and we have great, where's he? He says they got great walleye fishing right now.
Yeah. My postman
in Ohio.
My postman must not be working because I haven't gotten an invite in the mail.
Well, I think he's saying we should go to Ohio. We should have this event in Ohio is what he's saying.
Tell him he's got to be more direct with me. I'm a sales guy.
Yeah. Come on, Scott. Come on, Scott.
I'll bring a gas can. We'll throw some gas in the boat.
There we go. So I think you're onto something. I think we should do it. Paul Britton's been saying this for a while, that we should just get together and we should have our own big event and invite, our key customers and introduce
invite anybody that wants to come and have fun and learn.
Yeah. How about that?
Just be part of the industry, right?
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. You got to come, you got to not have a chip on your shoulder. And you just got to come and have fun. Enjoy the people you're with. Contribute to the business.
So when are we doing this?
I think Scott said he's got July 16th open. Let's see what that date is.
That might be a little soon. We're gonna rush it. We're going straight for July 16th.
What do you do all day besides that? You're the player.
Nothing.
You can play. This is what you do.
Nothing.
Come on, you can plan this whole thing in about 2 hours.
Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. So
Give
July
up,
16th.
give up some of that exercise. You'll still live. Look at me. Give up some of that exercise time and start doing event planning.
So July 16th is what we're going to throw out there.
Yeah, we're good. 15th. I'm off on the 17th. So.
Oh, come on. Now you're changing it already.
Well, I had to look at my days. I got something planned.
We just started and you're already
15th
changing
is a
things.
Wednesday. It's perfect. In on a Tuesday, 17th out on a Thursday.
Camille says the Sacketts are going to be in Sandusky, Ohio at a baseball tournament at the end of June. Let's make it a combo event. So Camille's interested in it working to her benefit.
You know what? If the kid needs a guest runner, I could be his runner.
Yeah. Pinch runner.
Yeah, I could be his pinch runner.
You've been riding the bike now, so you're good.
So embarrassing when you're the chubby kid in Little League and you go to slide and you never hit the bag. It was always my dilemma. Speed was always my nemesis.
Yeah.
The inability to have any.
That gravity thing, huh?
I always wanted to run fast enough just to feel the wind go through my hair. It's never happened in my life.
So you cut your hair.
So I cut my hair. Absolutely. I'm a problem solver.
Oh man, I don't know if anybody's gonna get anything out of this besides a laugh, but that's what it's for, right?
That's it. But you know what? We are on to something. I think some of the best sharing events we've ever had, you almost build lifelong friends coming out of those.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And
yep.
That's been the key of the industry. I mean, think about when mold making technology started. Was their first trade show in Cleveland?
Probably.
Back with Gary and Christina and all the gals there. And Joe Preshak, I think, was part of that starting.
Yep.
Just an amazing group, and that whole group has kind of like lasted the last 20 years, spidering out throughout the industry. It's been kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'm a newbie to your club, so.
And we were wondering when you were going to start showing value. We were like,
I know.
We were like, what the hell's going on with this kid, John? What the hell? You think about this?
Yeah, I know. You gotta get him on board with the process here.
But it just goes to show you found a place.
Yeah,
and you made it happen.
Oh,
because
it's fun.
Because you have the desire. Life is all about the desire.
Of course.
Right. You had the desire to make this happen and be an impact and create something that our industry's never had. You had the desire to make it happen, so that's you drive it.
Yeah.
Or your dad couldn't say, "This is what I want you to do," probably because he can't turn on a computer. But
he can turn it on. He spends a lot of time on eBay. Yeah, I mean he's
on eBay. Yeah,
he is crushing the eBay game. Let me tell you.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Don't say it too loud for the IRS.
Oh, it's more buying. It's not selling.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. I don't know. Why is the IRS going to care if he's buying the stuff?
Your dad, actually, I love spending time with your dad. He always makes me laugh. And guys like your dad, they have such good hearts, and you can just kind of see how it circles around them.
Yeah.
And it's pretty interesting to see a guy and to see the body of work that they've built, right? Because at one time, I imagine he was like everybody else. They just started with this idea, this thing. They wanted to go out on their own, and they just had the passion, right? They're a tool maker. They served an apprenticeship. They did all this. And then they kind of had to learn this whole business thing behind it.
Yeah.
So if you think about the courage it takes to do that, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you don't go to 4 years of school where they have a whole part of your apprenticeship. I've actually always thought the apprenticeship should have a business segment to it.
Right.
Right. Because how many of these guys, start a business and they're a great tool maker. So usually your top tool makers, the guys that got some kahunas, they go out there, they start their own shop, but then the business part of it kind of sometimes trips them up.
Right.
That should be a part of that growth process.
That was one of the conversations we had about our shop in California, right? We have a guy out there, Steve, who does a great job. He's a great welder. He had no idea about business. Yeah. So we put him out there and we're going, why isn't he successful? There's plenty of places that need welding. Well, that's not all it takes, right? You need the business strategy side of it. Sure. to understand what's working, what's not working. I mean, when it comes to quality work, done, easy. But when it comes to running a business, that's a whole different animal.
It's even like sales. Like, when I did a lot of consulting before I came to DME, a lot of the guys were like, my sales guys just aren't doing what they're supposed to.
Yeah.
So when you ask the owner of the shop, you say, well, what are they supposed to do? Well, sales stuff.
Yeah.
So that's a rather broad subject, right? I mean, why don't we work on dialing this in a little bit so everybody has some expectations and, they kind of know what's the goal of the company. And that's why I always said, commitment came from the top down.
Yep.
If the owner bought into the sales process and what they had to do, then you could spider it through the company. But if it doesn't start at the top, it'll never go anywhere.
Absolutely. Because then it hits a ceiling.
Absolutely.
You got to have that buy-in.
And then you're going to have people that kind of get roadblocks here and there, and you got to be able to kind of navigate those. Paul
Britton is letting us know that Kentucky is wide open, so we can go to Kentucky and have an event.
For too many things.
Yeah. He actually put KY is open. So
that's Paul.
Yeah. Yeah. That's Paul. Brenda says that her weekends are spent on Amazon and Pampered Chef. So she's very busy.
Incidentally, so am I.
Yeah, that's good. Brenda, you and Scotty are working on buying the same stuff.
Pampered Chef is the best pizza cutter ever.
Really?
I'll tell you right now.
What makes it so good?
It works. It never dulls, and it cuts right through, and it keeps rolling. It's fantastic.
I mean, isn't that just what a pizza cutter does?
They don't all work the same, though, right? Does every laser welder work the same?
No, it does not.
Differences.
There are
differences. They might be minute, but there's differences.
I guess I've never spent that much time looking at a pizza cutter, but maybe I should. My dad just bought trimmers for his bushes for outside, and he spent $70 on a pair of trimmers because the guy told him that it's got to be the specific trimmer. He did it so perfectly. Like, this guy's taken Dale Carnegie. He's taken all the classes. He even told him, like, you don't want it. You don't need that. You don't need that trimmer. It's too much for you. It's more of a professional grade. You don't need that. My dad was like, give me that damn thing. And he's playing with it and he likes it.
Just tell a guy like your dad he can't have it.
Yeah.
Buy it.
Don't tell me what I can't have.
Yeah.
So then the guy goes, my dad says, I want it. Give me that. So he's going to buy that. And the guy goes, well, what are you going to put it in? So what do you mean? What am I going to put it in? He's like, well, you need a holder. I mean, I got this little plastic one or I got this leather one.
Oh my God.
So which one did he buy? Yeah. $100 later, he bought it's a very nice trimmer.
And he calls you up and he says, hey, Tony, I'll sell some polishing. I just bought some new trimmers.
Yeah. You could tell it's not a Chinese made trimmer. It's very nice. It's very nice. And he loves the story. He tells everybody a story about his trimmer now.
You know what? And the best part is he's out of the shop.
Yeah. Well, no. Come on now. So the next time you see him, he's going to tell you about that trimmer. Just go along with the ride.
Oh my God. That's awesome. I love your dad. Like I said, anytime I get to spend time with your dad, I love your dad. He's funny as hell.
I remember
that night we were down with Scott Phipps.
That's what I was just going to say.
That was a great time.
My stomach hurt so bad from, I mean, I think
not very often have I closed down an Outback Steakhouse.
Yeah. Well, out by Phipps, there's a lot of high quality restaurants out there.
There is actually. Actually, his house is pretty good. It's a pretty good one. So
you gotta spend some time at the Blind Rhino.
Yeah, I like it there.
Yeah, that was a good night.
Yeah, I didn't know his pool wasn't closed optional.
You found out.
Lesson learned.
Yeah, I mean that's what life is all about.
Yeah,
lessons learned.
Oh well.
Yeah. So what's your take? What's happening with DME? What's going on with sales?
I'll tell you, this whole COVID thing, as bad as it's been for the world, for our world, for our business, it's been fantastic, right? I mean,
really,
you can't keep up with, you cannot make mold plates fast enough.
Really?
It'd be nice to sprinkle a little fairy dust throughout the plants to get steel plate moving quicker.
Yeah.
The thing you're missing in business, our business right now, and I imagine other guys are seeing it, is you're missing just from shops and people not running their equipment. You're not getting the repair stuff all the time. Right. But thank God there was enough new COVID work coming through.
Yep.
Kind of keep the other stuff going. So if you
I
wish I could make steel plates twice as fast as I make them right now, but
I want the repair work. People need to mess some stuff up.
Well, and that's got to hurt a business like yours too, right? If they're not molding, they're not breaking stuff and messing stuff up. And
yeah.
You probably had a lot of rush. I imagine you had a lot of rush polishing jobs.
We did have a lot of rush polishing jobs. it slowed down for a little bit, but now it's picking back up. It's ramping back up.
Yeah.
We're behind by about 3 weeks what the industry is. So when the industry got slow, we were good because we were finishing what everybody else had in the pipeline.
Yeah.
And then we hit a little bit of a lull, and we could see it's coming back.
Yeah, it's the business has been good. The COVID thing was horrible, but if everything had shut down and we weren't part of the solution for stuff,
Right.
we weren't all essential. Boy, I think it would have been pretty dangerous for a lot of people.
Yep.
So you got to count your blessings. Around here, I went to my buddy's pizza shop last night, and he's got to take everything out to people's cars.
Yep.
And he says, it's just, he goes, I can't wait till it gets opened up again.
Right.
He says, I can't complain about the numbers. I'm making money, but it's just so different how we normally operate, and I can't have the amount of people I normally have working. And you're running stuff out the parking lots, and I think in general everybody's just waiting for normalcy.
Yeah.
Just get back to normal, right? We miss if you didn't appreciate the little things you had, you certainly do now, right?
Of course. But I think we're going to have a new normal, a better normal.
I'm going back to normal. I'm old. I'm going
There
back.
is no back. You can't
I'm
go
going
back.
back. Listen, I can do whatever I want. I'm going back.
Okay. You get yourself
I'm an old redneck. I'm going back. I go back exactly. Matter of fact, I might even get a horse.
You get yourself a DeLorean.
I'm gonna get a horse.
You're going to need one to go back.
I'm going to get a horse and wagon. I'm going Little House on the Prairie back.
The horse can't go 88 miles an hour.
What I learned, if all the grocery stores go down, we need some livestock around the house.
So that's what the horse is for.
Well, you never know. I might get some chickens. Never know.
You should. You should.
I know.
You should do that. Camille thinks you should write a book on sales.
Thank you for your low standards, Camille.
Yeah, she says it'll be a compilation of short stories and lessons learned. She says it will be a New York Times bestseller.
Oh, boy. She's always way too generous.
No pressure. No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. The only problem is I would need somebody to spell everything, grammar check, take out all my curse words.
No, you leave those in there. It makes it more fun and authentic.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been trying to clean up my act the last couple of years, but I don't know how it works.
I don't believe that.
I do good until the second beer. Then it's all off.
And that comes with breakfast. So it's a long day.
I always talk with my hands. Why are you so excited? I said, I'm not excited. Well, your hands are all over the place. This is what I do. I don't know. It's like I'm Italian. I'm not Italian, but it's like
it's how you keep
Italians and Greeks. You guys are always going, hey.
You've been doing social distancing since day one. It's your way to keep people away. You got a long arm span. That's 6 feet. That's 6 feet. Get away from me.
Although I am a hugger, which has been real tough.
I know. Me too.
Right? It's real tough. I'm
a
hugger, so.
Yep. Yeah, we're shunned now. Those hugger people.
Yeah. I don't know.
You and Camille have just come up with a new partnership because she says that she will be your ghost writer pro bono.
Perfect. I don't even know what that means, but perfect.
Free. She's gonna do it for free. Look at this. I'm boring him so much that he's taking phone calls.
No, I was clicking it off. I forgot to turn off my work phone. You know what? When I'm on vacation, I still check stuff all the time.
Of course, you have to. You have to. Either that or somebody else will.
But Wayne, when I used to work with Wayne, he joked that Scott, don't worry about Scott. He even takes his phone to the toilet. I'd be like, you got to say that on the sales call?
I've heard Wayne say stuff.
Oh, yeah. That's another book.
Oh my gosh. We were at the trade show in California, the one that that Prestige holds. Mike Corbel.
Yeah, the Mike Corbel event.
And I was standing with Wayne in his booth, and he was talking to a new customer, and the stuff that came out of his mouth as like a sales pitch was like, what? Like, huh? And the guy just stood there the whole time talking to him. And I thought either he's brilliant or insane. I don't know. That's
usually the result.
Which one it is. But I love that guy.
There's usually a coin flip involved.
Yeah. Totally.
And the best part is he knows who he is, and he wears it well. He appreciates it.
Yeah, there's no hiding.
He knows exactly who he is. Yeah.
That's my favorite thing about
that's his charm.
That's my favorite thing about the mold making industry.
Yeah.
Is the authenticity. Like you just be you, and people, they normally accept you unless you're too bad. Then they just kick you out. But I haven't seen that.
Well, because typically it's full of just really great people. I
Yeah.
mean, this is an industry that you kind of get in, and it just kind of captures you
Yep.
because they're just so good. Like they're just guys and family guys and families that are running these businesses and these shops, and spending time in the AMBA, you realize just the struggles that everybody has.
Yeah.
And it's not just you and you're building in Rochester, New York, or in Batavia, or in Albany, or in Chicago. It's like, holy cow, this guy's got this problem over here too.
Right.
And you instantly can just sit around the table or have a beer at the pool, or and you're talking, you're going, man, that's finally somebody knows what I'm going through. I go home every night and I wear this, and finally there's somebody else out there.
Right.
Because our spouses and all that, they listen to us. But until you're in this environment, you're living it, it's really tough to just really, it's nice when you're talking to somebody, they're actually hearing you. They know,
Of course.
So that's why the AMBA, I got addicted to it years ago. And just because it's the people, right? Just
Always.
amazing people. Like when Tim started iWarriors.
Yep.
I mean, it was with what we saw come out of that group in such a short period of time. I mean, they had like $10,000 worth of donations in like a week and a half.
Yeah.
On the first go around, right? It might even been quicker. He could probably correct me. But as the subsequent trips out, to see the guys and all this stuff, and you just look at this body of men and shop owners, and I mean, it's just the human element of it was just overpowering. It was amazing.
Yep.
And that's every day. If you deal with these guys, it's every day. That's why when they call you, man, if you can't step up for them, you got to pass them on and help them, because it's their livelihood, it's their families hanging on the hook, right?
Yeah. And that's what I've loved, is the authenticity of everybody, the ability to, let their guard down a little bit and share those things. You don't see somebody and they go, how are you doing? I'm great. Everything's great.
Sure.
We can be real with each other and grow and help. And most times you have people going, hey, do you know of a shop that needs some work right now? Because I got a customer that's looking for this. It's not really what we do. Who can we send that to?
Yeah. And they're not going to call the guy 2 weeks from now and start and get work.
Right.
That's the cool part, and people don't really understand it when you try and tell them, like in other industries and stuff. And you're like, what, this does exist. This does exist. And I know guys that would be like, what, you got here because of this, I can't take your work.
Right. Stay
where you're at. That's your guy. Now, if he calls me and says you should take this account, that's a different story.
Yeah.
But I'm amazed daily, weekly, of just how these guys interact and how at what level their integrity exists at. I mean, Camille's boss is a great example, like Roger.
Yeah, Roger.
I mean, there's a guy with integrity which passes on to that whole chain. I mean, you got Camille and Brad and John and Adam, and guys in the shop, Tom and Mark, and and Kenny, the plant manager. I mean, that whole group, when you're there, it's like you're at a family cookout. I mean, they do some major cookouts, and it's like when you're there, it's like you're like in a family environment, just making a sales call.
Yep.
It's just so empowering. And if you can make a customer feel like that and dazzle them with what you got for technology coming in the door, and your commitment to the community alongside that, it's so empowering.
Yeah. Hillary says from Westminster, she says that she was so amazed, honestly, when I joined the industry, how open and supportive and everyone was to her. I mean, it's just.
I was amazed at how abrasive Hillary was when I met her the first time.
Yeah.
She was very abrasive to me. I don't know. So,
Hill, what's wrong with you? You didn't like Scotty?
She was very standoffish, and it was very. Matter of fact, Ray had to speak to her.
You are 3 times her size.
That could have been it. I mean, what's amazing about Westminster, right? So I'm on a sales call on like a Wednesday morning, and Hillary's great, by the way. I was only joking, right? I'm on a sales call like on a Wednesday morning, and they huddle everybody up in like this half circle.
Yeah.
Right. And this microphone goes around, and it's like, what are you thankful for? And I got to be honest, like I'm this big emotional guy sometimes, and I was like, I almost had tears in my eyes. It was like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever been part of. Like, we line guys up and say, okay, give me your complaints and we'll just, we'll knock them off. We'll prioritize them. We'll throw out the bottom half. And, next week we'll see what recirculates. And when you walk and you sit there and you say, you hear, 25 people talk about what they're thankful for in life.
Yep.
And it was all over the spectrum.
Yep.
It wasn't just them personally. It was, relationships they have or friends they know, or, it was incredible, the level of sharing. And it's like everybody's just so open there, and you go, holy smokes, this is incredible.
Well, and the level of trust that they have for each other.
You walk in and you're greeted by Kim and Ray's sister. It's just an amazing environment. Just amazing. Yeah. I apologize, I don't remember Ray's sister's name.
And like I said, it's the level of trust that they have with each other to know that whatever they say is
Hillary.
sacred.
Kaylee's amazing, right?
Yep.
It's incredible. Just incredible.
I encourage everybody to, if you have the opportunity and the fortune to be invited to Westminster to come take a look at their facility, you should absolutely go and see what it's all about, because there's companies that say they do something, and then there's companies that actually do something. And I am continuously impressed with what they're able to do.
I think if I was a customer and I experienced all that going through there, and at the end, Ray said to me, hey, look, I'm not sure I could build your tool, I would trust him. I'd be like, well, he'll figure it out because I just trust him. Right?
Yeah.
So it's just so amazing. What a culture. Talk about culture. That's what we're always trying to change, culture.
Yep.
Right. We used to have a sign when you walked into Craftsman that said something like, if our excuse is because we've always done it that way, it's the wrong answer.
Yep.
Right? And that just goes to show you can't transform companies until it's all about you got to keep moving forward. Right?
That's it.
Because what we did yesterday, today really isn't good enough. And it doesn't matter if it's sales, accounting, operations in the company, right? Plant management, whatever we did yesterday isn't good enough. We have to keep going forward, because we have this thing called a customer at the other end. And that customer has 30 families he's relying on.
Yep.
And that company they're dealing with has thousands of families probably they're relying on.
Yep.
That's what it's really all about, paying it forward, right?
That's it.
That's how you got to look at it,
That's it.
I never thought that, the janitor is just as important as my job is.
Absolutely.
Right. The shipping and receiving guy to me should be one of the highest paid people in the company, because we do all this work fantastic, and then it ships out to the wrong location. You're like, what was all that work for?
I was just talking about that with Mercedes and Lindsay. They do a plastics show with SPE. And I was telling them exactly what you were talking about, right? If you look at it like a football team, right? You're a football guy. Everybody gives the quarterback the glory. But if you're a Bears fan, the kicker is pretty damn important.
Absolutely.
And you can't just do the kicker's job. You can't say, hey, Tariq Cohen, go kick the field goal, because that's not what he's trained in. But if you don't have a good kicker, you're screwed. And everybody's got to work together and encourage each other to get the job done, win the game, and contribute.
We saw a lot of that personally this year. With my kid's a senior this year, and quite a senior year. But their football team went to the state semifinals, and nobody really thought we'd be there, right?
Yeah.
But this was a unit of kids that really only might have had one or two standout players, and everybody else just played as a team, right?
Yep.
And they just rolled over people because they were just so tight. The group was so tight. They just worked so well as a unit.
Yep.
And when your culture and your company gets to that point, you're unstoppable. The machine just keeps rolling.
Yeah, but the key is you got to get everybody to buy in.
Absolutely. You
got to get everybody to buy in.
And it's never financial. It's never, if I pay somebody more, they'll do this.
No.
It's never that. And people kind of always look to that to be the answer.
Yeah.
Immediately. Like, if I just pay somebody more, they'll do a better job. And it's so the wrong answer, right? It has to be a mindset, a culture. It's got to be driven from within, and then it's got to be led by example. Right?
Yep.
And I remember at Sturdell one time, we had a lot of trouble, like we talked about with shipping and receiving. We do all this great work, and then we'd go out to, because we'd say, okay, you got to start here at $5 an hour, and now I'm dating myself a little bit, I guess. And one day I said, I got this resume of this guy who was a home builder, and then he kind of changed fields and all this stuff. said, well, we can't pay a guy $12 an hour to do that. And I said, I don't know. The 3 mistakes we had last week cost us more than what this guy's going to make all
Sure.
year, right? Because we lost 3 customers, you know.
Yep.
And I tell you what, that kid came into our company and he really transformed what that whole part of that end of our business, the end of the business that went to the customer next, just transformed that business. And it's pretty powerful. You got to have the aces in their places, is an old phrase, but you got to have those people, and then you got to empower them to really develop the culture.
And that's it, right? And you have to have that cohesive team network. I mean, I since coming on here, I look at everything like a sports team because I love sports, you know, playing hockey, playing soccer, growing up, like all those things. You have
Canadian?
to be. Did you say I'm Canadian? Is that what you asked me?
You said hockey. I didn't know. You guys play in Chicago? You guys have a team?
Yeah. Yeah. Won a few Stanley Cups lately. You forgot about those.
I'm a Sabres fan. We rock.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So we got Kane, you know, your guy. And everybody has to do their job. You know, it's just like the football thing. The goalie can't worry about scoring goals. He's got to pitch a shutout. That's got to be his.
Absolutely.
That's got to be his goal.
Yeah.
And everybody has to do their part. I think but if one guy's off, right? One guy doesn't buy into the play that the coach called, the play doesn't succeed because you need everybody running the same formation, the same play and all of that. And it's crazy.
You can see that a lot in youth sports, right? Because youth sports will have the 1 or 2 standouts and they kind of control the whole game up until you hit a certain level in sports.
Yep.
You know, maybe that varsity level or, you know, high JV level. And then you kind of see it all say, you know, this has to be a team sport now.
Right.
Because everybody's good. My oldest son, when he went to college to play football, he's going into a senior year. I was amazed at that first year watching the team on the field. I said, holy cow, everybody's fast. Like, it wasn't just 1 or 2 kids.
Right.
You know, the linemen were 350 and fast.
Yeah.
For a lineman, right? I mean, everything's relative, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, holy smokes, this is a whole different level, right?
Yeah.
But that's how work is too. That's how our careers are. That's how, you know, handling customers is. It's like, it's a level, right? You got to keep amping up that level. You got to keep driving to get better every single day. But you can't do it with one person. It's about bringing everybody along for the ride.
And what's crazy,
there's nothing more empowering than when you get somebody new into the company or somebody in the company, and all of a sudden you start saying, you know, I'm not going to make that decision for you anymore. I want to see what your decisions are going to be.
Yeah.
And man, they're scared shitless at first, right?
Yep.
But then all of a sudden they make one good one. They might make a bad one. They might make a questionable. Then they make another good one. And all of a sudden they start to just get that mojo about them, you know, and they start to get that confidence. And man, when you see somebody grow beyond what probably they ever thought they could, that's the best feeling in the world. Absolutely. Developing talent is one of the best feelings in the world.
And there's a couple easy ways to squash that, right? Because when you're empowering those people and you're giving them the permission to make those decisions, you have to, as a leader, be ready for them to make some mistakes.
Yeah, you say, you know what? I'm the guy behind you. I'll catch you when you fall.
That's right.
That's the biggest thing you have to say. You know what? I want you to make mistakes.
Yep.
Because I want you to go outside of your comfort zone. Especially when you train a lot of sales guys, and they're high, you know, they're always afraid to fail. Like they're very high, you know, intensity and ego and all that. But then they're also afraid to fail. It's like, no, I want you to fail. Yep. I want you to go out. I want you to fail. I want you to go out on a limb. I want you to do something new you're not used to doing. You know, walking into a room of 30 people you don't know is not a natural event.
No.
So you have to be aware of that. That's okay that you're nervous, right? But start with the first guy. Start with the second guy. Start with the third guy. By the 10th handshake, you're good.
Yep.
You're in a routine. You're good, right?
And you realize that they're not going to bite you.
Absolutely.
They're not going to attack you.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, they're guys like Tony and Scott who just want to come to work every day, just make a difference. Yeah. Go home to their families at night. We all got the same goal, right?
And you got to get past that mindset that it's scary. I think it was one of the first or second Amerimolds that I went to. My dad and I were walking out afterwards, and he just looked at me and he was like, "What the hell happened to you? What happened to that shy kid from high school that didn't talk to anybody?" I was like, yeah that dude's dead. Like, this is way more fun.
Yeah, it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's way more fun. And it gives you, I mean, imagine how boring a trade show must be or an event must be if you don't talk to anybody. I mean, if you just sit there in your booth
We
and you
go,
see
you
those
know,
guys, right?
you do a lot of shows, right? You see the guy
Yeah.
in the back of his booth reading the
That's what I'm
paper,
saying. You see this
guy
guy.
in the booth on his phone, right? It's like when I schedule a show, I actually schedule time away. If
Yep.
I run the schedule, I schedule time away to go do all that crap,
Yep.
right? Don't do it in the booth. When you're in the booth, you're going to work, right? We're going
Yep.
to be out. We're going to be walking the perimeter. We're going to be saying hi to everybody. We're going to say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
Somebody, if they stop and I can stop them, great. If not, you know what? I've stopped guys at shows and I showed them another person I know his company does and what they do. Next thing you know, they come back the next day and they're like, you know what? Thanks. That guy worked out really well.
Absolutely.
Can you explain to me really what you guys do? Because you might have a fit in our company.
Yep.
So you never know where it's going to go, right? You never, ever know. And being nice costs nothing.
Zero. And it's the best thing that you can do. I wrote a blog post a while ago about networking and how people don't network properly. You know, they're so accustomed to going to an AMBA show or whatever. And the first question back is, how many leads did we get? Well, that's not the right question. The right question is, who'd you talk to? Who did you help? You know, how's that conversation going to grow for you?
Plus, big shows, it's really not all about the quantity of leads, right? Because everybody's like, yeah, I like it, scan my badge. And you're almost like, I wish I had like a no scan, you know?
Right.
But you really want the good ones, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But to what you said, it's, you know, if you come to me and we're talking and I can't solve your problem, I'm just not going to say, sorry, dude, this isn't us. You know, through all these trade shows, I've been able to make enough connections where I can push them to the right person. You know,
Sure.
We talked about Wisconsin engraving a little while ago. Wisconsin engraving does engraving that we don't do. I mean, so if something comes in, we send work to Pete all the time because he's the right resource to do it.
And I'll tell you what, your customers appreciate that. And we were talking earlier, you know, about your blog and you've become this new presence in our industry that we never had. You know, and we talked about, you know, the neutrality part probably being something that is perfect for you to be able to spread work around. But you have such a huge voice now, you know, it really, you're becoming almost somebody with Alliance, but not with Alliance on a certain level because you've got all these connections now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you are becoming that industry guy that people are going to float stuff to, you know, and it's really, you've worked yourself into a position, created a spot in our industry, a position, an entity in our business that we've never had.
No, I appreciate that.
And well, what you did is you played to your strength, right?
Yeah.
You didn't come into the business and say, hey, I'm the best polisher, I'm the best welder, I'm this. You said, I'm a social media guy.
Yeah.
You got a great personality, I'm a social media guy. What can I do with this to affect my dad's business? And you just started day one, and you're way more confident now than you were when I first met you.
Well,
right?
yeah.
You're just kind of in, and you're kind of figuring out your fit and all this kind of stuff. And what you did is what we talked about earlier. You started with the first handshake, started out with the first, you know, conversation. Now it's like you walk in the room, everybody just knows who you are, right?
Yeah, and it's nice. These events become like cheers, right?
Absolutely.
And that's the biggest thing that I miss.
Yeah.
That's why we started doing the lunches with that's why Hillary and I started doing the lunches, because we just wanted to engage with people. And, you know, for a long time, Hillary and I need an excuse to talk. And so when we started doing it, I was like, let's do this every week. This is fun. Like, we get to talk to each other.
Like, I used to really enjoy the shows the way they used to probably do them like 6-7 years ago, maybe longer, where, you know, you'd kind of have the smaller regional show, but at night you'd kind of socialize at the event on the floor.
Yeah.
And, you know, it kept everybody around. You got everybody to see before everybody split out and went to their dinners here and there. Just super events, right? Just networking on the floor. You get to see everybody. I mean, you get to see customers, competitors, friends, you know, everybody. And, I know sometimes now there's a little bit more structure put to things, but I really like those old days. I really like. I miss actually the small regional tool shows. Rochester had one. Erie, Pennsylvania had one. Cleveland had one. They were just nice small regional events, and everybody came down and supported the local distributors and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if we'll ever get back to that point just because of the way business has gone now. It's really tough, I think, for distributors to succeed. But just being out and being social, it still works. It's still about relationships. I don't care what school, college you graduated from, or what degree. Yep. Relationships are still a huge part of what we do.
I think it's 100% of what we do is relationships and problem solving and making a difference for people. That's how we look at it. I mean, relationships is part of our core values. If you don't have relationships, you don't have anything.
Yeah. And your responsibility to your customer it's not just taking an order. It's if you're not really sure you can do something and you're going to let that guy down in his business and his family, you got to say, you know what, that one might not be for me.
Yep.
Let me, why don't you go over here? This guy can handle it.
Yep.
I've done that numerous times in my career, and it's never affected my business. It's only enhanced it.
Yeah. I would agree.
And
because again, you're building that trust.
I think too many people get worried about that. Like, why would I do that? I was like, well, you know what? Because at the end of the day, the guy's going to trust you.
Exactly.
He's going to maybe give you a little bit more freedom on price when you need it. And he's just going to trust you that you're going to take care of him,
And that other guy that you referred him to is going to appreciate you.
Yeah.
So you just help 2 people instead of just helping yourself. 3 people, right? Because you helped yourself in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely.
You help the customer that needs your help, and then you help the shop that actually does what you're saying you don't do.
Yeah, and it shows. I spend a lot of time when I can at customers' booth or competitors' booths too, because there's a lot of things that we just don't do. We don't have.
Mm-hmm.
But if I can point a customer somewhere and say, hey, I know where I can get this, it's all about just being as educated as you can for your customer. That's what we're here for at the end of the day.
It's like Batman's utility belt, right? It's another tool in the utility belt. If you can point somebody in the right direction, that's awesome.
Yeah, it works out great. So I got a big announcement. Not a big announcement.
Oh, here we go. He just saved a bunch of money on his car insurance.
Personal one, though. So my son, Tanner, graduating from high school.
Yeah.
Just signed a mold. He's going to be a mold maker apprentice in Rochester, New York.
Awesome.
And so he decided not to go to college, and he's going into the trade to become a mold maker. So,
Signing day.
Yeah. So I'm very proud of him, and it's very exciting for us.
Where's he going?
Custom Molding Solutions in Churchville, New York.
Awesome. So
they've got a small 5-man shop right now, and they got 30 injection molding presses. And it's going to be an interesting experience for him, because not only will he learn to build tools and all that, design them, but then he gets to go hang them in a press too and run them.
That's great.
Right? So it's really, and the guy who runs the shop's a pretty good character, and I know he's going to learn. He's going to learn from a good guy. So.
And what's nice is I think I saw pictures of your son, and he's bigger than you are. So
that's my older son.
Okay.
So this is a small guy. He's only 6'1", like 220. So
I was gonna say they're gonna be able to get rid of one of their forklifts because the kid's just gonna pick it up and do it on his own.
My oldest son came home 3 days ago. My wife and I looked at him. We said, "Did you grow?" He's like 6'6", like 270, right?
Yeah.
And we're like, "Holy cow! Did you grow again?" It's like, geez.
I was on your Facebook the other day because I was trying to figure out artwork for our promotion stuff. And I'm like, holy cow, he makes you look short. He makes you look like a human.
I know.
Like a normal sized person. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's what everybody says to me. It's like, man, you're a big dude, but holy cow. It's like me when I stand next to Scott Peters. I don't look up to too many people,
Exactly.
Holy smokes, man.
Exactly. It's like Dougie. When Dougie's standing next to Scott Peters, I'm like, wow. And then I stand next to Scott Peters, and it's like if I'm standing next to Hillary.
Yeah. Isn't Dougie the best? I love Dougie.
All right, Scotty, you got anything else? I've kept you a long time.
Time is it? 1:20?
Yeah.
Yeah, I go finish packing some coolers and head up to camp.
So any other tidbits for everybody here?
Yeah, we got a live concert tonight. Kid Rock's playing tonight.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow night, Zach Brown's playing.
Where is this happening?
So I record a lot of live concerts.
Yeah.
Right? And I play them on my projector on the side of my friend's barn.
Oh, nice.
So now this is because we were supposed to be at a concert weekend this weekend,
Yep.
So tonight they wanted Kid Rock, so I got a bunch of live Kid Rock shows and all that kind of stuff. And then tomorrow night will be Zach Brown. So we got a bunch of friends coming and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be a good time.
Are you gonna go like full Kid Rock? You're gonna rip the t-shirt or maybe not even wear a t-shirt and just go full on
I still have
American
a wife
badass.
beater. I still have my wife beater from high school.
Okay.
So I my chain does not fit anymore. I'll be honest with you. So
The wife beater fit. The wife beater fits, but the
well,
chain.
it might be a little short,
Yeah.
but I don't judge you.
I'm just asking,
I'm
man.
sure
I'm
you
just
wear those
asking.
biker. I'm sure you wear those biker pants, and
I do.
I don't judge you.
I do.
I used to ride chaps until the town sent me the letter. But
yeah, that's something.
The letter was something.
Yeah, not the chaps. They didn't used to be chaps. They just wore into chaps, didn't they?
You know what? I've spent a lot of time on the road.
Yeah, exactly. Good. All right, listen, everybody, does anybody out there, we have people still watching. Does anybody have any prayer requests? Scotty, typically what we do is we'll do a prayer at the end because we try and keep things positive and moving and happy and joyful on this because there's too much negativity in the world. So if anybody has a prayer request, throw it in the chat and then we'll throw it out there for everybody.
I think you should pray for everybody's businesses.
Yeah.
Right. There's a lot of small business. There's a lot of small business in the world that's in trouble because they weren't lucky like we were to be essential.
That's right.
A lot of family businesses, let's pray for them.
I talked to Mark Densler from the Illinois Manufacturing Association yesterday, and he was saying that in Illinois, we were lucky because probably 80% of the businesses were deemed essential, but currently all manufacturing businesses in Illinois are considered essential. So huge win for us in Illinois in that regard.
Look through some of these main streets where you live, right?
Yeah, I know.
I live in a small town, so we have a long main street.
Yep.
And these are just people that, they pretty much work month to month, right? I mean, week to week, month to month. And you really got to feel for these small business owners because, they didn't have the luxury we did of being essential.
Absolutely. Right? I mean, you got
there are people that work hard as any of us do every day, every single day.
I mean, just here in our personal space, we've got Dougie's wife Brittany with Slice and Lindy's and the struggles that they've had through being shut down, and they're finally able to open outside. So, we're trying to go there for lunch a little bit more often. But it's just we got to help everybody get
gift cards.
Buy gift cards, yeah.
Hey, you can buy gift cards. Buy like $20,000 in gift cards.
$20,000.
Well, John, the Spartans got money.
$20,000. That's a lot of lunches.
Your dad bought $100 clippers. $20,000's nothing. Tell him the money's made in America. He'll buy it.
Well said. Well said. I'm gonna get us through a quick prayer and then I'm gonna let you go so that you can go camping or do whatever you're gonna do.
All right.
So Heavenly Father, thank you for another good day. Thank you for introducing me to this industry and to these people and to these friends of mine who look out for the people that are under their care, who do your work every single day by leading, by serving, by providing things that everybody needs. We pray for some sanity for our nation, for our leaders to make good decisions, for wisdom in the way that we act and the way that we treat people. We pray that you would be with all of our businesses, that you would help us to grow, that you would help us to learn, and that you would continue to provide for us in all the areas that we need. Just watch over us, keep us safe, keep us healthy, and help us to grow and learn as a nation and as a country and as a people. And we love you, and it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Scotty, thank you, my friend.
All right, man. Have a good weekend.
You too.
See ya.
Bye. All right, everybody. Thank you again for watching the Manufacturing Alliance Chat and Chow. That was my good friend Scott Smith from DME. So if you need anything from DME, he's your guy and he'll point you to the right direction. And like you said, if he doesn't have it and they don't do it, he'll tell you where to go to get it. Good quality guy, and he's going to make you laugh. So I want to thank everybody that watched and listened, that was part of lunch with me today. And I want to thank you for being with us and watching every week if you're able to participate. I love being able to connect with people and seeing our industry grow and flourish and get better. And I just love being embraced by this community. So thank you all for watching. On behalf of Big Scotty and our industry, take care and God bless.